thanks for sticking around. I am back, and I've got some Cadbury celebrations. Might not be a good idea to eat chocolate on, well, not necessarily on stream, but more so while casting, but I'm hungry. I've stretched my legs a little bit, which is good. And we're going to get ready with series number 2. So series number 2 is going to be iRk versus DM. I think this is going to be a little bit closer than White versus Nice was. We've got some really, really cool matchups here. So let's jump on and have a look. So quickly taking a look at the win ratios of the teams. Oh, thank you, Jackie, for the, or Yak. I don't want to say your name wrong, but thank you so much for the gifted sub. Welcome, CRVT, to the team here. It's kind of cool. It's interesting that I think Jack actually gifted a sub, but isn't a sub himself. So that's kind of cool. Thanks so much. And okay, so iRk, they won 26 of their matches so far in the STPL. Obviously, this is over Season 1 and Season 2, and I believe that's including a show match as well. They came 3rd place in Season 1, and in Season 2, they're doing pretty respectably. Respectably, I'm fairly certain that's the right word. And DM, they came very close in Season 1 to making the final playoffs. There are only a few qualification points off. The way it worked in Season 1 was a little bit more convoluted. It's a lot easier in Season 2. It's just given to the top 8 teams. But if we have a look at who we're going to have playing in this series, this is why I'm kind of excited. We're going to have a TBT between Marwin and J1. We're going to have a PBT between Favorite and Kyrie. We're going to have a PvP between Oyaji and Pri. Another PvP on Desperado. And then we're going to have a PvZ between DeWalt and Yop. So we're going to have one TBT, one PvP, one PvT, and one PvZ. So we've got a little bit of a mix in this matchup this time. And looks like Invidentia thought he had the Lottie emote, but he doesn't have that one yet. You can get it with channel points though, which is kind of cool. Ah, thank you, Jack, for the sub for yourself as well. Means a lot, man. And Avi Marwin has lived in Sweden for a good number of years now, so he wants to go as Swedish now. I think he's actually become Swedish national with his passport and everything, but he is originally from Ukraine. And Favorite lives in Sweden as well, but comes from Russia, I believe, but is Swedish based on the passport. So, let's have a look at our first map. It's going to be Neo Arkanoid. Now, Neo Arkanoid, one of my favorite maps in the pool. Surprisingly, one of the most balanced maps in the pool. We've not really had too many mirrors here either, which is, I genuinely thought that this map was going to be nothing but TBT. I'm not going to lie, I may have put it in to get more Terrans playing. And it's worked. We've got a lot more Terran games. We've had a ton of PvT on here. And we're actually going to have another TBT. So it's going to be the 4th one. The ones we've had so far have been amazing. So I'm looking forward to this one as well. Introducing our 2 players. We've got Marwin from Sweden. I still don't know what his actual quote is, so I'm not going to try and figure that out, but he's got a 50% win rate over a good number of games. He's played since the middle of Season 1, so it's been over a year, or it's been over a year for him, a year and a half maybe, which is kind of crazy. And his opponent fighting from South Korea, I believe he's South Korean, it's J1 fighting for DM. He's got a 66% win rate and is 2 for 1 against Terran as well. So what was Marwin's TBT? Wow, Marwin's actually lost all 3 of his TBTs that he's played, so a little bit unfortunate there, but he's still played some really amazing ones. So let's hope we'll get another amazing one as we get into the game here. It's game number 1 of iRk versus DM. It's Marwin versus J1. Ah, so J1 lives in the USA.
Easily amused, huh?
Oh, thank you, Jack, again for the gifted sub. This time to Medino. Welcome, Medino, to the club. You get all of the cool tier 1 emotes I've got now. Now, starting us off here in the top right-hand position In the red, it's going to be fighting for DM. It's J1. And his opponent spawning down here in the bottom left-hand position in the white, fighting for iRk. It's Marwin. Okay, and please excuse me while I very badly try and open up this Whisper. If you've never had Whisper before, it's quite possibly the best chocolate bar in the UK, so it's pretty good. ASMR. It's now an ASMR cast, just saying. Okay, so I'm fueled by chocolate. It is a TBT on this semi-island map. If you've never seen this map before, let's have a quick look. I know we've got a good number of viewers now, but there are these neutral buildings absolutely everywhere. Interestingly, we can't... So when you're on top versus bottom, which we are, and you don't have team colors on, you can't see the neutral buildings. So you know what? Let's swap it to red versus blue. So the red player is now Marwin, J1 of course in the blue. That just makes it a little bit easier to follow along, because obviously seeing the neutral buildings is super important on the minimap. So both players opening kind of how I'd expect. They're both going for gas openings. Looks like we are going to have Marwin going for a quicker scout with his barracks. You can also use the Marines to kill these pretty quickly, but they don't have any armor, so workers can kill them fast enough anyway. So for any Zerg players, aka Doc Holiday, you can kill the Chrysalis and expand very, very quickly. You just send some workers. But it's all good. I'm calling you out, Doc. You called me out on the Pylon show. My turn to get you back. I don't know if you're watching today because you're probably too busy actually doing your job, but I'm calling you out. In 2020, it's not going to be the same, man. I'm going to get you. You said on the Pylon show something like, oh, in 2020 you're going to beat my ass or something, but that ain't happening. I'm going to train super hard over the Christmas break. And I'm gonna mess you up. You'll regret ever calling me out on the Pylon show, man. I'm only kidding. I like Doc a lot. We're kind of... I would like to say we're close, but we only ever seem to argue, so I'm not sure if that's true. But then again, I think that's what friends do the most. They argue with each other. So it's all good. Okay, CRVT, I think the plan would be we would play a best of 5. It would be 3 ladder maps and 2 picks. So he would get 1 and I would get a pick. I know he said that I only ever pick maps like Neo Arkanoid, but I also like standard maps. If anyone has followed me on Twitter, which if you haven't, why aren't you following me on Twitter? You could have found out how depressed I was about the result of the election the other day and laughed at me. But essentially, one of my only pinned tweet is me posting a gif from Initial D with Shingo spinning out, and it's like, what if I told you all maps are Kix maps? I'm gonna be completely honest, the only maps I don't really like right now are Fighting Spirit and Circuit Breakers, just because they're too overplayed. Like, a lot of people think I don't like standard maps. That isn't true. I like standard maps as well. It's just when you've seen so many games over so many years on the same map, it gets boring. You need a break. And that's why I like ASL. The other thing people always forget as well is Circuit Breakers was designed to replace Fighting Spirit. They took Fighting Spirit out of the map pool and then put Circuit Breakers in. You don't need them both. Just have one. Oh my god, it makes me so angry. I hate Fighting Spirit and Circuit Breakers so much. Now, we have a quicker expansion coming in from Marwin. We do have a double factory dropship production coming in for J1, so there's going to be a lot of dropping, most likely into the pizza wedge. Marwin is only just now getting his 2 factories. But he's got his 2 factories already, but he's getting 2 tanks at a time soon. And he's going for his own Goliath drop, so we're going to have 2 drops from both players. The dropship count gonna favor J1 here, and it's going to be 2 Goliath drops against 1. And I don't like doing maths on stream, but I think 4 is a little bit less than 8. Maybe even half, so... Luckily, wait, does Marwin see this? Oh my god, yes he does, he sees the dropship. Okay, did he notice it in his vision? Well, he's going to see it now. If he moves into a position and can snipe one of these dropships, Marwin is a god. Okay, well, I guess he's just going to kill the barracks. Also, Buena, like, if I was on Tinder, I would probably put that in my profile as well. But here we go, we're going to have a dropship coming in to the main. Unfortunately, it's 4 versus 8, but the other 4 are not there just yet. But as you can see, the dropship is going to go down. Gets one of his opponent's dropships, though. If he targets the dropship down, he is going to be in a good spot. But unfortunately, the target fire is not quite there. But getting one of the dropships is super, super important, because all of a sudden, it's a lot harder to get mass dropped. And look at this, J1 does not have an expansion. He's cleared out the Chrysalis down here, so he is going to be able to expand, but he has to do damage. He's behind in SCVs, he's ahead in supply, but if Marwin defends this well enough, Marwin is going to have a massive lead. Also, Abby's going in kind of hard on Doc Holiday, and I'm not sure I appreciate that. I'm happy to, like, trash Doc when I'm chatting shit about us playing, but when you make it personal, it seems a bit, like, wrong, Abby. Okay, so J1 actually did do a lot of damage here, so he is going to be able to clean up a lot of these SCVs. But all of a sudden, J1 has a 10 SCV advantage, so that drop was very well worth it. Unfortunately, Marwin, unable to delay the drop long enough, going into tanks a little bit too quickly is definitely going to cause a problem here for Marwin, because suddenly Marwin is actually miles behind. Also, you'll have to excuse me, I'm eating more chocolate because I'm a clown. Oh my god, I'm not going to repeat what Abby just said. Doc, if you're watching the VOD, you've got to check Twitch. Wait, how did Frisky get a highlight message for 100? I changed it to 250. Well, I guess my Twitch hasn't updated on my PC, on my phone even. Sorry about that. I really shouldn't eat while fasting, but honestly, you know when you just get that feel that you need to eat something like right now? That's for me like the last hour. I only had dinner like 2 hours ago as well, so not even that long ago actually. Oh my god, working in an office has destroyed me. I snack way too much, both at work and at home. But at work it's because I'm bored, whereas at home I'm actually enjoying myself, especially while casting as well. And we get to see my favourite matchup, like I can't complain. We got +1 attack finishing up here for J1, he's up to 3 factories now. Marwin has done a brilliant job of bringing back the SCV count. But obviously imagine if he hadn't have lost those 12 SCVs, he would be so far ahead right now. J1 has expanded, has only just really got hold of his second gas quite recently. J1 is going to opt to go for a lot of turrets to try and defend against the possible counter drop play coming in from Marwin. Now that drop from J1 got cleaned up quite handily, so that's definitely a benefit here for Marwin. But this is one of my favorite things about this map. You can have a very standard TVT, or you can have a TVT like this where both players are just dropping each other over and over and over again. And Marine Medical MMO, I ate chicken and chips, just a piece of chicken that I cooked and some oven chips, because high class dining here at the Kicks Estate, the STPL studios. I'm so lazy when it comes to cooking. Like, I'll cook stuff that tastes good. Like, one of my main meals is something that I've really enjoyed since I was a kid, which is like jacket potato and like a type of meat, so usually the pork or chicken. Grated cheese, and don't judge me, but ever since I was a kid I really like spaghetti hoops, which are like hoops of spaghetti, right, in tomato sauce, and it goes together so well. I know it's just carbs on carbs because it's pasta on potato, but genuinely, I could recommend. It's a very lazy dish to cook. You barely have to clean anything afterwards, and it's very filling. Like, it fills you up very, very well. And sorry, Abby, I realize you are vegan, and I'm sorry I eat so much meat, but I at least make sure no food is wasted. Like, I never waste a bit of meat. If I buy meat, I eat all of it, so I make sure that their death was not in vain. And I always try to make sure I buy meat from places that I know don't mistreat the animals, so I don't buy battery farm chicken or anything like that, because that's horrible. And if I buy eggs, for example, I'll always buy free range. Because as much as it's still, I know as a vegan you would say that it's still wrong to eat animal byproducts like eggs. It feels, at least if they're free range, at least they don't have a horrible life, which is something I try to look out for. But unfortunately I like dairy and meat too much to fully go vegan. When science gets to the point where they can make something that tastes like meat that isn't meat, like I know they're working on like lab grown meat right now. If they get that right, I'll switch from meat to that, because at the end of the day that would be the best for everyone, but they've got to get it right first. Also, CRVT saying the best meat is Zerg meat, and the best Zerg is a dead Zerg. Luckily enough, Lucky Noob isn't here. And Affy saying the Terran meat is the best meat because it's naturally salted. Oh my god. It's true. Oh my god, look at that scat. Wait. Okay, never mind. I thought J1 had like the perfect star sense scan, but it will. Oh, he does! Look at that! Wow! What a scan by J1. And that's going to give him the ability to move in with a counter drop. Now we've got Marwin actually dropping outside of the base. And he's going to slowly push his way through these temples. I'm not really sure why you wouldn't just drop in the base, but look at this. J1, he's going to go around from the side. He could go for a counter drop here. Marwin did just drop a ton of his units in his next to his opponent's base. So there's going to be nothing left at home to defend now. There is another 5 full dropships. Where are they going to go? Doesn't look like either player has managed to scan it. Wait. Okay, the barracks does see it. But is he going to counter drop, or is he just going to try and continue to push the envelope here? Now, unfortunately, it is just Mass Goliath in this drop. So Tank should be able to clean this up back at home for Marwin. And look at this, Marwin. Oh, they're empty dropships. Okay, so he's going to pick up his other units, likely going to ferry them over. It is a little bit harder, given the fact there is so much anti-air, but both players' dropships going to pass each other like ships in the night here. I think this was the third base for Marwin, has actually gone down. He wasn't able to save it. Against that many Goliaths, there was absolutely no way he was going to be able to lift it. Marwin is going to look to try and expand to this top left location. But you can definitely tell where J1 has prepared a little bit better against these drops. He's building tons of turrets. but he's not got any units up here. Here we go. Marwyn going to drop in the natural, or in the mineral line even. And this is going to be so good. But not all the tanks are sieged. So the siege tank, the single one from J1, looks like it's going to be able to hold on at least momentarily. But a lot of the SCVs have gone down again. J1 still, though, with that SCV lead. But Marwyn has just taken one of J1's bases out. He's got his tank sieged in such a position without dropping on top of these. There is going to be no recompense for this. Now, where are the dropships? Did he lose a ton? Yeah, he did. So Marwyn actually managed to take out a ton of the dropships there. Only 2 or 3 remain, sorry. And he needs the dropships to be able to clean out these bases. Now, Marwyn's going to use this opportunity, knowing that his opponent does not have the mobility that he had before. And he's going to push through the middle of the map. Now, pushing through the middle of the map has multiple advantages. It means you can defend against drops a little bit easier. It obviously does mean your units get marooned out in the center, but it also opens up more offensive possibilities because finally, you don't need to worry entirely about just dropships. Now let's see how well J1 can scoot forward and deal with these tanks. Now unfortunately, he moved a little bit too far forward there, but that is one of the hardest things to do, judging that essentially there's going to be no one new here to Brood War, but if anyone's watching on YouTube for the first time, the way that tanks work in Brood War is they shoot farther than they can see, and obviously if your opponent's tanks can see you, it means they can fire at you. So the idea or what you do is you scan ahead or you wait, you get just outside of vision, and then you scan, because you can attack and your opponent doesn't get to shoot first. So the problem with that is just how hard it is to judge what the actual tank range is. Like when you watch pro level TVTs, they judge it perfectly every time, but as an amateur player it's so difficult. Now Marwyn is doing a very good job right now. Marwyn, of course, one of the strongest foreign Terrans at this current time. J1 apparently didn't manage to qualify to the NASSL, but he's still been doing pretty well. It's just the trouble is Marwyn is just doing a little bit better. He's always in the right places. He's always expanding to the right places as well. But it's still very tight. Supplies are very similar. J1 has secured his top left base again. Oh, this could be bad. He does need to drop these units off. There is only a single tank here. Where are all of J1's tanks? He just barely doesn't. He doesn't have any. It's like he's overbuilding Goliaths or something. And that's really starting to hurt. Now we're going to have tanks being dropped off by J1 in this pizza wedge. Going to allow him to defend against this push. But look at this nice target firing by Marwyn on that back tank. Going to cause both of those to go down. And Marwyn once again coming in with a massive drop on this third base. And this very well could be it. I don't see a way that J1 can come back out of this. This is checkmate. GG. J1 taps out. Marwyn takes game number 1. Now that was actually a really sick TVT. I know it turned out quite one-sided in the very end of it, but both players gave it their all there, and it was certainly a cool game to watch. So let's give the win to Marwyn. I'm going to take a very quick break, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes with game number 2. Been detected. Where has he put the nuke though? Oh man, I know it's somewhere in this location, but where? Where is the nuke? It's definitely, there we go, it's on top of the sunken dome. Boom! And the nuke goes down, and so does all the drones. What a nuke right there. Oh, here we go. Oh boy, the nuke on the position again. It's on this base, this poor base. I can't see the red dot though. Where on earth is the red dot? Maybe he's put it on like the blood or something. There we go. Directly on the hatcher, on the lair. Absolutely abolished one. Annihilated the base. man. Oh man, there we go. The nuke is going to go down. Can it get the hatchery? Yes, it can. 300 minerals in the drink. We see more and more ultra stream. Remaining signs. Nuclear launch detected. The red dot on the hatchery. Has Cold realized? I don't think he has. He's not pulling away. He's going for an all-in attack. But I want to watch the nuke. It's going to be so huge. Oh man, all of the remaining drones are going to go down. There we go. Boom, once again. And GG. Radley cleans up the final drones. And the game ends. Okay guys, welcome back. We're here with game number 2. It's going to be Favorite versus Kyrie. We'll be heading into our second map momentarily. Let's just quickly introduce it for you guys so we know what's coming up. So it's going to be Carthage 3. Carthage 3, a really cool 2-player map. Top left, bottom right hand spawns. Very balanced so far in the STPL, minus TBZ. But it's going to be a PvT, so it should be a lot of fun. And introducing both of our players, we're going to have Favorite for iRk, one of the stronger players on iRk's roster. 61% win rate overall. 2 wins, 2 losses against Terran. And you can see his previous TBTs. Favorite hasn't been super active in Season 2 so far, but this is going to be his 4th game. And I'm very much, his 5th game, sorry, and I'm very much looking forward to it. Now, he's only actually played Desperado in Carthage 3, so he has form. And his opponent going to be for DM, it's Kyrie. Kyrie, 40% win rate for him, a very strong North American Terran player, but unfortunately had some very, very difficult opponents. His last TVP he won, that was against LML, and the 3 before that, unfortunately, he lost. But he is 2 for 3 against Protoss, so looking forward to seeing how he's going to do here against Favorite as we get into game number 2 of this series. It's Favorite versus Kyrie on Carthage 3. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position in the red, fighting for DM. From the United States of America, it's Kyrie. And his opponent spawning down here in the mint green, fighting for iRk, it's Favorite. Now, in terms of namesakes, Favorite is one of the only foreign players to have been able to take down Scan in a PvT. He did win with DTs. Favorite does play a lot of aggressive styles early on, not so much as Oyaji does, or Oya, I guess he prefers to be called, but we could have a pretty aggressive game from him. He's certainly not shying away from cheese against Terran, and honestly, not to throw any shade or anything, but if you're Protoss against Terran, it's kind of worth cheesing sometimes. But trouble is, Kyrie is a strong opponent, so unlike when I play against people on ladder, cheesing him is going to be a little bit harder, because essentially the better you get a Terran, the easier it is to defend against the cheese, and the better you get a Terran as well, the best way to explain it is the better you can counter, because if you defend against the cheese as Terran, there are certain timing attacks you can hit to really really punish it. And we've got a 12 next coming in from Favorite, so Favorite is doing a cheese, but it's going to be an eco cheese here, and Kyrie's actually going to be able to scout this out, so this is super, super important. Now, is Kyrie going to... Oh my god, Kyrie's going to command center first. 2 eco cheeses against each other. What are we watching? It's a 2-player map. This is such a massive gamble. What the hell? Now, 2 gateways coming in for Favorite. It's going to be a long, long time before Kyrie gets his buildings that he needs to deal with 2 gate. But as CRVT said, this is a very weird gateway positioning. It is very far back, maybe hoping to keep it secret from Kyrie. But I mean, eventually the jig is going to be up now. Probe didn't manage to get a kill, but did manage to force some delayed mining time from some of these SCVs, and also forced a second SCV to be put on this command center. Now, realistically, it might be better to stop building and just kill the probe, but I guess you want to be... Well, you want to get your expansion up as quick as humanly possible, because the Nexus is already done from Favorite. It did start 2 supply earlier. It's not been delayed. But what is Kyrie's answer going to be to these 2 gateways? He's mining from his gas now. Does he just build 2 factories right away? Does he try and go for a bunker? I mean, going for a bunker kind of feels super important right now. Obviously, the gas is going to be a little bit late, so range is going to be later. But just 2 gateways worth of production this early is super, super strong against Terran in this position. Now, one thing that's making me kind of jealous is I've seen a lot of people posting about how their office is shutting over the Christmas period. It's not shutting for me. While you guys are at home, think of me sat in the office on the 27th and 28th of December. And just the 24th as well, and the 23rd. Just think of that. Think of poor old Kix sitting in his office with no work to do because all of our clients are shut. And yeah, just don't at me or anything with how much you're enjoying your time off, because I'll be very jealous. I'll still be casting STPL through the Christmas period as well. Obviously, there'll be no there'll be no cast on Christmas Day, which is... Wait, is Christmas Day really next Wednesday? Oh my god, what the hell have I done? Invidentia saying install Broodwar in the office. You want to know something funny? There was a year where essentially most of the office got to go home early, but me and 2 other people stayed behind to like make it so everyone else could leave. And we were sat team viewing into our home PCs playing Civ 5, sorry. Civ 6 wasn't open, or it wasn't out at that time. That was kind of funny. Now, in terms of what's going on, Kyrie's going up to his 2 factories. We've got a 3rd base coming in here from Favorite, as well as a support bay. So it's going to be Reavers on the way from him. And I mean, given the fact I said Favorite should play this pretty aggressively, he's playing this pretty straight up. Like, you can't really play any more straight up than this. The only aggression he's actually done is send a single Dragoon across the map. I mean, that's kind of crazy. And CRVT, do you not get any time off in Latvia? Obviously you must get some, right? But do you not get any like national holidays or anything? Oh, the mines. Using those mines pretty well, zoning out one of these Dragoons. Pretty good getting that additional damage done on it as well. Oh, hit him up, I'm so sorry, but you are in the US, so you guys have like no holiday, right? What is your paid time off allowance? Because in Europe, I think by default it's 20 days, but companies can go higher. Like mine started at 20, and now I get 23 days off a year, I think it is. But I've seen people in the US who only get like 5 days, and it's like, whoa. Oh, it's Canada. Wait. We get no paid time off at all? What the hell? Okay, drop coming into the main. This is absolutely crazy. The drop is going to do a ton of damage if he's not careful. Nice target firing on those probes. Going to make it very difficult for Favorite. Now, Favorite dropping 5, 6, 7 probes? For the mine? What? That probe is the luckiest probe ever. So, 6 probes still. Unfortunately, not going to be able to get another probe, but is going to do a ton of damage to the Zealot. And there's actually vultures in the other base as well, so that's a ton of damage. Wow, all the probes going down at the third base. This is crazy. Another vulture in the natural. The attacks just keep on coming. And I can feel a cough coming on, so 1 second. Yeah, so I've just got over being ill, and I feel like I'm getting ill again, which is really worrying me. Oh man, sorry, the Protoss dropped as well. Looks like the Reaver was cleaned up. Quite a few SCVs went down. What we'll do is we'll go back and watch this again. Mines going off on the, oh my god, the Vultures have taken all the shields off the Nexus. More and more mines are connecting. This is such a bad situation for both players to be in. Wow. Losing that Reaver, obviously a big deal. Vultures in the main once again. Killing more and more probes. This is how I like to see TVP played. But unfortunately it's not easy to do this. And if you keep throwing away vultures, eventually the Protoss will just overpower you later. Also, there's a lot of people saying in chat that people in NA barely get any time off. Like, you guys need to fight for better labor laws. That's ridiculous. The thing that scares me is the government that just got in power here does not like worker rights. We are so screwed when we leave the EU. Like, the government that are in power now, they essentially want to make us into the US. And the US, land of the free, I'm sure there's plenty of good things. But labor rights, worker rights, and the social care system and health system is not good in America, right? Yeah, you don't get paid sick days either, which is just ridiculous. And I know you're in Canada, but I actually feel like massive amounts of despair for the amount people have to suffer to work. Life shouldn't be like this, guys. I know I know a lot of people say I'm super duper left wing, and I probably am, right? I am left wing, and I stand for socialism. And genuinely, the fact that people suffer so much just to work so they can actually live is crazy. What happened to the world to allow us to get to this point? Sorry for making this political, but it's ridiculous. Why did corporations get so much power? How did we allow this to happen in history? It doesn't make any sense. Like, life should be about living, it shouldn't be about working. Like, I do my job, I work 8.5 hours a day, and then I go home. I'm lucky in that regard. There's a lot of people who aren't that lucky. They have to work like 10, 12 hours a day, and then they go home and they have to keep working. But I just feel awful for all the people that suffer so much. Like work? So I do realize I'm really off topic this game, but essentially not too much is happening right now. We've got another drop on the third base, denying it for a little bit, both players just kind of macroing up. But work should be about enriching your life. It shouldn't be a necessity to survive. Like, that's not how it should be. And like a guy, Indigo Wilds in chat is saying he used to work for a car manufacturing company and work 12 to 14 hours or maybe even 16-hour shifts. Like, that's ridiculous. When did this happen, guys? Like, we need to stand up for social justice. It's ridiculous. Like, corporations shouldn't be able to get away with this. This is horrible. And metaphysics is asking me to. No, you know what, Meta? You can use the channel points to ask me anything, and then I'll say it. You gotta earn me saying that. Thing is, CRVT automation, like I know you just mentioned that, but CRVT's mentioning that just wait until we replace everyone with robots and fire everyone. Like, capitalism is not going to last through automation. Like, without a workforce, because robots are going to replace most people, like, without menial jobs, like, essentially that's what a lot of the jobs in the world are. They're just completely pointless. Like, the amount of people who are, like, they're hired to do the most stupid stuff, and their jobs only exist because they need work. Like, we're essentially making pointless jobs to keep people in a salary. Like, there's a lot of stuff that gets done, but essentially, like, capitalism cannot... Okay, Metaphysics uses channel points. He says, please can you say big buttery biscuit for me, Kicks? There we go. Big buttery biscuit. Get some of that on your buttery biscuit base. That's a really good... By the way, if you don't know well, probably most people know MasterChef, but search for buttery biscuit base or buttery biscuit base on YouTube, and it's a great edit. Here we go. Looks like we are going to finally have an engagement. Favorite pushing down the high ground. Not in a good position. A great concave by Kyrie at the bottom of the ramp. But is going to take a position on the high ground and kill a lot of the vultures. Now, Favorite expanded very close to his opponent here. The Reaver on the high ground is very close to death. Only one hit away. There we go. And is Favorite going to be able to defend this base? There's another drop going into the main. Kyrie is just playing so aggressively, but unfortunately the cannon able to clean this up. There is carriers. They have arrived. There's 3 of them, so this is a little bit of a saving grace here for Favorite. This should allow him to save his base. But at what cost? He's taken so much damage. He is at a supply lead. Obviously, Kyrie, to do that damage, has lost a ton of units. And this Nexus is going to go down for sure. There we go. Nice target firing by Kyrie. Going to take that down. But can Kyrie deal with the carriers? Like, he's lost so many units throughout the course of the game to play so unbelievably aggressively. And FakeFin, unfortunately, I cannot greet your friend because your friend is not here. If your friend was here, I would say their name. If someone wants to make a if someone wants to make a Twitch account called that, then come and type in the STPL chat. There we go. And Meta, 100% automation is coming. It's just a matter of time. Like, manufacturing jobs do not need people doing them. The only jobs that will exist after robots essentially replace all the menial jobs is it'll be like engineers to fix the robots. Okay, so we're up to 5 carriers now. They're going to be doing a ton of damage, but does need to be careful. One of them incredibly low. Kyrie is doing a very good job at dealing with these carriers so far, but oh, the engineering bay is going to go down. Without the engineering bay, there's no more turrets. And it looks like Kyrie is going to push through the map now. He is going to be the one forcing the issue here, because if you force the issue as Terran, essentially the Protoss can either go all in with their carriers and try and go for a base race, which never works, or they can try and come back and defend. Now it looks like he is going to try and come back and defend. No, the carrier is just going to try and cut off reinforcements. Oh, one of the carriers getting very low down. Nicely picked off there by Kyrie. And the 5th base in the middle of the map has been cancelled. We're going to lose another carrier here as well. Great target firing by Kyrie so far this game. Now Kyrie doesn't have a 4th base. He is going to try and expand over to the bottom or the middle right. There is no way of any units of Favorite getting over there to deal with this. Now we're back up to 6 carriers again. One of them or 2 of them incredibly low. Oh no, another one's going to go down. Oh, he's not targeting the right one, but he's so close. So many of the carriers are so low. One goes down. Can he get another one? Yes, he can. No, he can't. Oh, there we go. It does go down. Another 2 go down. 3 carriers left. GG. Kyrie, with a fantastic engagement, wins game number 2. Okay, so that was a crazy TVP. There was bits where not much was happening, and I kind of went on a rant about socialism and automation, but oh well. I guess I do that sometimes. Sorry guys if you don't like the political chat. I am a very political person, so that's just who I am. Now we're going to be heading in to game number 3. I'm going to take a very quick break just to get another drink, and I will see you guys in just over about 3 minutes. See you guys soon. Okay guys, we are back for game number 3 between iRk and DM. The series is tied up 1-1. We're going to be heading into a PvP here. We're going to have Pre versus... I saw the name, I think is it Pre versus DeWalt? No, it's Pre versus Oya. So let's introduce both of our players, then we'll quickly introduce the map as well. Starting us off here for DM is going to be Pre. Now Pre is a pretty strong player on DM's roster. He goes up against some very strong opponents as well, so always difficult to kind of tell how he's actually going to do in the game. He is Chilean, of course, along with a lot of DM. He is 5 for 6 against Protoss, so that's a pretty good win ratio. In general, it's very, very difficult in a big team tournament, given the fact you don't know who your opponents are going to be until that week, to get like a 50% win rate in anything. So really, really big props to him. His opponent going to be Oya. Oya doing a little bit better than Pre, ranked 45 in the STPL rankings overall. He's 6 for 3 against Protoss, and he's got a 56% win ratio overall. So a very, very strong player for iRk here. And apparently Pre beat Dandy 2-1 this weekend in BWCL. So that's pretty sick. And this could very well be the notorious Model Slayer. I think he lost to a Chilean player and then quit. I'm not too sure. But let's have a look at the map. We're going to be going into Desperado, so yet another PvP on this map. This map's kind of turned into what Troy was for me in Season 1, where the majority of the games are PvP. It's annoying, because this is a really, really fun map, but to be honest, PvP on this map can go crazy. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into game number 4. Is this? No, game number 3, sorry. Series is tied 1-1. It's Pre versus Oya. Okay, starting us off here in the top left-hand position, we do have the red Protoss fighting for DM. It's Pre, fighting from Chile. And starting down here in the 8 o'clock position, fighting for iRk in the blue. It's Oya, fighting from Sweden. Or Sweden. I probably said that wrong. Now, Indigo, this was actually a really famous map back in the day, and it's actually a really good map, so I know you say you could have made it when you were 8, but I'm gonna have to press X to doubt on that one. Like, you would have been a very, very talented 8-year-old. Because this was made by one of the best map makers in Korea, so I get what you mean. I'm only memeing. I'm memeing on you, I'm sorry. The thing is, the minerals and gas, like, the minerals are kind of like, it's strange. Like, there isn't many maps that are like this, but genuinely, I actually like the way it's laid out, because you have less less workers per patch, because everything's a little bit better spread out. So as long as you actually mine properly, like, I think your efficiency is actually higher on this map than any other one. And you've obviously got the double gas in the main. There is no gas in the natural, and the third base gas is quite hard to take, so that's how it kind of balances it out. You get quicker second gas, which is obviously very, very easy to defend, but it's a lot harder to get beyond 2 gas. And meta about Avalon, I don't know. Maybe. Not sure. What I might do is in the channel points, or maybe I should do it as a Patreon thing. Maybe make it like $10 or something. Maybe we can do it so you can suggest a map to put in the map pool, and then we'll get all the suggestions, and then we'll put it to a public vote, and then we can do it like that. Maybe I'll do something like that. The thing is, I'm trying to get more people to support on Patreon, and I know this is kind of self-promoting, but one of the things I really want to do is devote more of my time to STPL, but where I'm working 5 days a week, it's nearly impossible. Like, in some cases, I'm running myself ragged doing this, but I do it because I love it. But if I could hit my Patreon goal to knock 1 day off of my work week, life would be so much easier. I'd be able to do more tournaments, I'd be able to make more stuff. So if you do want to help support that goal, hit the Patreon link and support there. It would be a massive, massive help. And there's some really, really fun things you can donate towards as well. So if you've got any suggestions for something you'd like to see on Patreon as well, like maybe there's some tier you want to go for, but you don't want to do it because it's either a little bit too expensive or there's not something you want. Like, if you've got suggestions for stuff you want me to do on Patreon, I'm happy to take them. Just at me on Twitter or message me on Twitch or message me on Discord as well if you're in one of the many Brood War Discords I'm in. In terms of what's going on in this game, we had 2 gates for both players. Well, actually, 1 gate into Robo for Oya, with the 2nd gate coming up now. So the tech is going to be a little bit later for Pre, but Pre did go for 2 gates and a Nexus, so he is going to have a lot of mineral income coming in, and actually opting to going for Forge and Citadel. So we're going to have DTs versus Robo play here with cannons. Meta saying in chat that this map was made for Bonneth. I don't think Bonneth actually played on this map in STPL, so I'd be interested to see if that works. Now, here is the power of 2 gates against 1, but the high ground is going to come into effect here, making it a little bit harder to push forward. Now, I'm coughing again, which is kind of a worry. I'm hoping it doesn't develop into anything. But I may need to take things a little bit easier, not shout too much in the next couple of games. Obviously, we still have a chance to go into an ace match. We're only in game number 3 as well. And it's a PvP, and it's on Desperado, so we could be here a while. Okay, in terms of what's going on at the moment, we've got Pre with his expansion secured now with a couple of cannons as well. Templar Archive should be on the way somewhere. There we go, it is done. He's going for Storm, and 2 DTs are about to finish, so these DTs could be quite important. Observatory is done, however, and because there's no Robo, there's not going to be a DT drop into the main. But later on, High Templar drops can be very, very powerful. Now, it looks like Pre wants to try and take a third base very, very quickly here, and he's likely going to try and go for the other main. I mean, this could be scouting for proxies, but realistically, that's not going to do too much. Yeah, he's going to go up into the top right main and try and expand. Longinus isn't really played as much anymore. It is a cool map. I think it's been added to... Was Longinus added to the BSL map pool, or am I imagining things? There was a tournament that added Longinus, I'm fairly certain. It may have been Havatu, actually. I think it was Havatu. I think Bonith was like, all the maps are so bad for Protoss, so Shamtu put thingies in. Now, the Observer catching the DTs in the middle of the map. Nicely done by Oya. And Pre is definitely going to be in a little bit of trouble here. His army is not all that big. He's cut a lot of units to try and get a very, very quick third base. And is he going to be able to hold on to his front? This is quite difficult. Now another cannon being added on here. The cannons are obviously going to help quite a lot, but when there's a Reaver, the Reaver can range down the cannons, but it cannot range down Storm. So Storm should be finished. There's going to be 2 Storms. These are going to be pivotal to be placed correctly, or we could have a very, very quick game here. Oh, nice Storm first of all. Not going to do too much, but definitely going to help out a little bit. Here comes the Reaver to come in again. Nice Storm on top of the shuttle. Nearly getting it in a single Storm. Gonna make this a little bit more difficult to try and deal with. Now the cannons gonna help defend for a little bit. And I mean, Pre does have a much better economy, but the army just is not there right now. Now, looks like we are gonna have another Storm momentarily here, which is gonna be able to get this Reaver. No, he's not going to storm the Reaver, he's going to storm the Goons. It's going to do a ton of damage. But the Reaver was definitely a higher profile target there. And it looks like Oya's going to break the natural of Pre. Now another Storm going down, not really getting too much. Pre's natural looks like it's going to be busted. Oya doing so much damage. Now, is there a Robo back here? Looks like the Robo is done, but there's no Storm drop just yet. And he's going to lose his probe lead here. The probe's trying to transfer away, but the probes are now evened up. Wow. Actually keeps the probe parity for now, but going to lose 400 minerals worth of a Nexus. Not something you realistically want to be losing. But all is not lost. Oya only has just now expanded. And of course, Pre has that hidden third base. Now the one thing I am praying for, not that I'm religious, is that this cough does not develop into something bad, because I have spent the last 3 weeks barely sleeping because of that damn cough. And if it happens again, I think I might just cry a lot. Now in terms of supplies, Pre is currently... Sorry, I'm also tired now. Pre is also 40 supply down at the moment, but the third base is starting to come into effect. Up in probe count as well. Now the funny thing about the way this map operates is, yes, he's lost his mineral only, but he is not going to be broken in his main. It's going to be so difficult to break up here. Unfortunately, I, in my stasis cell prison, are going to have to go and mind meld with Rapid in the bottom right hand corner, because I am about to lose my hope. But that will give Oya a chance to expand to another mineral only. Now this is the big story in this. Oh, I thought this was going to be a Storm drop. He's actually going to use some Dragoons to try and scout out any shuttles, I think. And now he's going to go into the middle of the map. This is such a weird drop. Why would you drop? Ah, he's going to ferry them over to the other base. If he does that, he can get some defense going at the top of the ramp, but I almost feel like just going for a storm drop would be better. But it looks like it is going to be shuttle speed coming in first. Shuttle speed definitely going to help a lot when you're going for those storm drops. Now, gateway count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gateways for pre. Oh yeah, is only on 5. So this, essentially the supply lead should start to dissipate soon. The probe count lead does go back to pre. Now, these Dragoons are still not dropped out anywhere. I'm so confused by this dropship. But I guess the shuttle is kind of unsure what to do as well. But definitely Storm Drop would be a lot better than what he's planning to do. I guess he's a little bit worried about getting his front busted. And that definitely wouldn't be unfounded. There's obviously a lot of units outside of his front. He can't really push down the... Whoa. Oh, he's going to push down the ramp while he drops. This is actually quite good. Try and take your opponent's attention elsewhere. But looks like Oya is on top of it. The goons have dropped at the back, though. There's no reaction from Oya. So he was focusing entirely on his army there for a second. Now, obviously, this hasn't done too much damage, but it is going to give Pre a 7-probe lead. And that 40 supply difference has now gone down to around about 20. So, definitely Pre doing well here. Now, this shuttle does need to get out. Speed should be kicking in very, very shortly. If it doesn't, it will go down to the Dragoons, but no, it will get away. Super, super important. He hasn't scouted the third base. But Oya is the one who really does need to scout this, because the third base... Oh, there's another... Oh, the storm drop in the main. That is quite a lot of damage. 4 kills, 8 overall. Now, there is a Reaver drop getting ready to go into this main here. Let's have a look at it. This is one thing I love about PvP on this map. It can get absolutely ridiculous. Now, the Reavers are going to drop down. They are going to get caught on a lot of these buildings, so the Scarabs maybe not going to do as well. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. I thought they weren't going to do that much damage, but then the first Scarab hit. Still, with a supply lead in terms of workers is Pre, but Oya has taken back the supply difference back to 40 again. Now, this hidden base up in the top right is everything right now. If Oya scouted this and killed it, Pre would be out of this game. But unfortunately, Oya is just not going to check up there. I mean... How would anyone take a third base this quickly in PvP, right? Okay, one of the Reavers does go down. The second Reaver gonna get killed by DT. No, just about manages to save it. Supply lead slowly going back in favor towards Pre. Ever so slightly, every single supply round, he is able to build a few additional units. He obviously does have more units, but looks like a Reaver did drop down into the natural, into the main. Didn't do any damage. There is a Dark Archon. Oh my god, is he going to get mind control? He's getting mind control. Look at this. Oh, mind control is so good in PvP. Especially if you can mind control a shuttle with 2 Reavers in or 4 High Templar. Thanks for watching, Cobalt. Now, the Dark Archon is quite clever. If you can mind control a shuttle with 4 High Templar in, or a shuttle with 2 Reavers, that's value. Like, he had the 2 DTs anyway from earlier on, so you may as well just get mind control and use it. Feedback is also very good in PvP as well, because if you can feedback High Templar, that's a dead Templar right there. He's adding on a lot of Archons, so I'm not sure I agree with the mass Archon strat instead of Storm. I mean, Archons are easier to use, and he's still got 4 Templar, so he's got 4 Templar, no Templar upgrade though, so he doesn't have 250 energy, no Kadarian Amulet. And look at this, Priya's taking a 4th... Priya's taking a 4th base. Now, there was... Oh man, I missed a High Templar drop because I was coughing, didn't I? Now here we go, looks like Oya is going to push forward. I think he's wondering why the hell is Priest still in this game. And he's like, how do you have so much stuff? Because he's going to hold on to his natural for now. A 4th base coming up that Oya knows nothing about. Oya definitely misusing his observers, I'd say, here this game. Or at least just send a Zealot out. Oya's on 3 bases. But look at the gas differential. Oya's going to be mined out his main gases. Well, maybe not. Oh my god, he never started mining the gas again. Oh my god, this is a massive mistake. Gas is so important in PvP, and to lose out on this gas when you're mining pretty much 3 bases worth of minerals is crazy. Oya just doesn't know about this. Oh my goodness, that's actually quite possibly the biggest mistake he's made this game. He's not necessarily rebuilt his probes, but he's got no bases to put them at. But without this gas, I don't see a way he can win this game. Obviously, he needs to scout the hidden bases, because look how long Pre's had this. He's almost mined out the minerals in the main. Like, that's crazy. Oya's got like a massive army lead, but due to the way the map works, like, he can't push anywhere. And look at this, Pre is going in with 3 dropships. He's got 3 Archons in there, a load of Dragoons. And he's going to be able to take out the tech. Now, this is a bit of a weird ragtag group to drop, but it's still pretty good. Thank you so much for the host there. Bonneth, wow, 148 viewers, man. Well done. Good to see you all here. This has been a pretty crazy PvP so far. Oya has not been mining his gas properly, which is where part of this problem is coming from. But we've got a lot of units being dropped in. They have been cleaned up. Oya getting a good cleanup there. Oya's continued to have a 30 supply advantage for so long. But the trouble is, he just doesn't know about these 2 hidden bases. It's just getting worse and worse. And he can't push into this. There's a Dark Archon here getting ready to mind control. Another 3 shuttles going into the main. So Oya's army out the front isn't doing anything. Oya finally going for a 4th base himself. But he's still not mining from his 2nd gas in his main. He's effectively been on 1 gas for about 10 minutes now, which is just crazy in PvP. And this is why he doesn't, like, when you look at his army, it's pretty much nothing but Dragoons and Zealots, because he's just had no gas to build Templar. Now here we go, another triple drop going into the main nest. Wow, shuttles do not die. One of them has gone down, but it's just going to be Dragoons. Oh, there's going to be a High Templar and 2 DTs. That's a bit of a weird drop. Oh my god, the Storm. 5 kills, nicely done. Oya, who already had the probe disadvantage, is struggling a little bit here. The DT actually in a very, very good position. Now, I thought that was a shuttle, but it was still the observer that's been sat there for about 10 minutes, not checking for any of the bases. Now, finally, Oya is going to check the other bases. But look at this. Oh my god, if he blocks the ramp with the DT, that's going to be a Pimpus play maneuver. But gets Storm on top of the ramp. There's a lot of Zealots coming up. If you just block the ramp, none of Oya's units can get up here. But unfortunately, his DT getting involved in the fight. And this 3rd base is going to go down. So even though Oya has been he's been behind a very long time with economy, this is a big pickoff. Now, he's still not going to know about the island base, and he's actually managed to evacuate a little of the probes over there. But if he'd have had that DT on the ramp, he would have held that. But there we go. Looks like we are going to have a big engagement in the middle. Lots of Storm going down on Oya's army. There's a Dark Archon out here getting ready to eat a ton of energy from the High Templar, but there just isn't any. Oya's been solo on gas this entire time. He's just not been going for anything. Now this, oh my god, there's so many units going down from Oya. Pre with the perfect engagement here. Now the Dark Archon over the right hand side not really doing too much, but Pre is the one with the army advantage now. He is going to try and push the envelope as he pushes forward, or push the issue, I guess is what I meant to say. Now more units circling in from the top from Oya. The top right hand base from Pre has gone down. There is nice Storm energy being used here on a lot of Pre's units. The Dark Archon He got mind control, but he's not really done too much with it, unless that was... may have been feedback, but even then he's not feedbacked anything. Now, oh yeah, he's still not mining on his second gas from his main. He is finally on 2 gas because of his third base. But this main gas is going to get mined out eventually. Now, a lot of Pre's army going down to the bottom right. He thinks his opponent would have expanded to the other main, but he is very, very wrong. Oya has been very slow with expanding this game. Now, Pre has a ton of gas that is kind of because of the way the map works, essentially. And that means he's going to have a lot of Templar energy, a lot of High Templar, a lot of DTs, a lot of Archons more especially as we get later in this PvP. And if he can expand again, things won't look too bad. Now his natural was denied for a while, so he's got a lot of minerals left over here. And he's taken the other island base. And Pre just, Oya just doesn't know about it. Oya's scouting this game has really been quite disappointing. Like, he's not been on top of it the way he needed to have been. So, oh, you're pushing in. And this map isn't too old, but mind control on a single Dragoon. That's the position we're in for Pre right now. What a waste of a mind control. But you know what? It did help him survive a little bit longer because Oya's army still very, very big. Now we've got Pre coming in from the south to try and take out Oya's only other gas expansion. If he gets this base, we are going to be in an incredibly weird situation. Now the natural of Pre is going to go down. He is on 2 bases mining minerals now. The probes have been pulled. He is going to be able to hold on to his expansion for now. But this is very weird. Like, Oya's getting a base trade in. Obviously, he's killing a base. Pre obviously isn't, which is a massive, massive deal. But Pre still has a big army down here, so if he pushes back in, he might be able to break it. Now, we do have a probe going down here to try and expand. Now, I don't think this DT has only just been killing probes, but if he's killed 9 probes at that base, I would be incredibly frustrated as Oya. And to be honest, Oya does know there's island bases because he flew over one, but he just doesn't know that Pre has them. Like, this observer is in the worst place in the world in the main, and he's not moved it for over 15 minutes. I'm fairly certain. There is an observer at the natural, which is obviously placed a little bit better, but he just hasn't been on the ball with his scouting at all. Now, well, Pre still has a DT in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, so let's not forget about that, guys. Now, look at this. Finally, an observer going to go into the bottom right-hand corner of the... No! What? Why? The DT's going to live. How lucky did that DT get? What is Oya doing with his observers? Okay, so Oya's going to go back in and check for the third main, or the other main again. See if Pre is putting a fast one on him, but is he going to go and scout the island base? I just don't get what Oya is doing this game. What? He's not going to check the island bases again. Now he's going to lose his observer, so he's not going to be able to go and check him. This DT is going to block this bottom right-hand base for a very long time, and there is absolutely nothing Oya is going to be able to do about that. It looks like Oya wants to push the issue and try and break through once again. But unfortunately, I just think Pre's in too good of a defensive position. Oya is pushing into death here. Another probe going down in the bottom right, I can see from the minimap. And, I mean, these are great storms. Oya is breaking through the army, but Pre now has a 50 supply lead. And there's so many Archons, so many high-tech units, because he's had so much more gas. Oya has finally started mining from his other gas again. But is it just too little too late? He doesn't have the scouting information he needs. Now, obviously, this island base is going to be hard to assault anyway. But just think if he'd have managed to drop like a high Templar here and killed all the probes. Like, this would be an entirely different game. We're at 25 minutes in, both players have been back and forth. Oh my god. He's finally going to see the island. Oh my goodness. He didn't even know it was there. He was going to fly over to try and get to the other main. Oh my goodness. He didn't even drop anything. Is this just going to go down? This is going to go... Oh my god. Is he going to... Oh, the shuttle goes down, but there's a big storm drop. But luckily enough for Pre, he already moved all this stuff out of the way. Now, Oya is actually mining out of gas now. That is the dire situation that Oya's in. His gas in his main is almost gone. His top one is gas in his... his other gas in his main is at 1,000. His gas in his third is at 1,000 as well. And I mean, Pre's got 5k gas here. He's got 3k gas here. He is rolling in money. And there is absolutely nothing Oya can do about it. I mean, he's not going to go carriers at this point. He can't afford it. How does he assault the island bases? He can't. He just has to expand, and he's just not doing it. I'm so confused. All he has to do is take the other main, take the top right, use your... Well, he doesn't have an army advantage anymore, which I guess is part of the problem. Because Pre has just got a little bit too far ahead from just... hidden expansioning everywhere. Now, I mean, it's still not GG. Neither player can really kill each other. There is still a ton of energy. Still no Kadarian Amulet here, though. Do we have any High Templar here? No, we don't. We just have Archons, so... here we go. So no Kadarian Amulet here either. Upgrades. Priya's got +1 armor, no attack. Oh, wait, he's got 3 attack, 1 armor. Sorry, I forgot High Templar don't have an attack. And he's up against 3 attack, no armor. But there we go, a big storm drop going in over on this right-hand base, or left-hand base. But it basically does nothing. This DT is still alive. It's got 10 kills now. What? I thought... I thought Oya was going to leave it alive again. It's been twice he's done that, but there we go. He saves it now. But let's look at this big army fighting into this other big army, because that's what we all want to see. Storm going down here. Is there going to be any feedbacks? Yes, there is. Feedback on one of the High Templar. Not killing it. I think that one had already stormed. But the supplies are evening up. Oya is getting fantastic engagement here. How on earth is this happening? He's down in upgrades, and he's still getting a good engagement. The concave has been ridiculous. The Archons at the bottom soaking up a lot of damage, dealing a lot of damage as well. And I don't believe this, guys. We're 30 minutes into the game. The supplies are dead even again. This has gone so back and forth. This is one of the most ridiculous PvPs I have ever seen. And both players' armies are gone. Pre, obviously with the economic advantage for the time being, he's going to expand up to the top right-hand base again. But neither player has a big enough army to kill each other anymore. An observer does go down from Pre, so that is something. No additional drops have gone down on these bases, but there is a... I did just see a shuttle going down. Yeah, there we go. Shuttle going down to the bottom right-hand base. He's going to drop above the natural, expecting there to be probes here. Oh, he's actually going to go into the third base of Oya now. I mean, a probe drop would be good now, but... I mean, Oya doesn't have that many probes anyway, and he doesn't have that many bases, so... Oh, wait. That was a misplaced storm. Storm in the gas. He's like, I know you need gas. You're low on gas. Just going to storm it. The longest game we've had in STPL history was 1 hour, 6 minutes, and like 25 seconds or something. This is a PvP, and you know what? This could go the distance. This could be the next longest game. The new longest game, should I say. Because we are at 30 minutes. Both players are around 120 supply. There's been so many engagements. So many engagements, so many drops, so many dead probes. A DT is trying to kill the Cybercore. He's like, I want to stop you building A air upgrades and B Dragoons. I forgot what they were called. I've been casting PvP for so long, I've forgotten everything. The longest game was J1 versus It was J1 versus Kiko, DM versus Sai. It was a ridiculous TBT, and there was battle cruisers against battle cruisers against D-Matrix. It was a really, really good game. If you have some time, go back and watch it. It was a TBT though. It didn't involve Radley, interestingly enough. Now Drop going down into this base. 5 kills on that High Templar, but still Pre with a massive probe lead. The top right-hand bases have been secured by Pre now. And the bottom right-hand bases are secured by Oya. And we're still going, guys. This isn't ending anytime soon. Now Pre, the longer this game goes on, the bigger the advantage Pre is going to have. Because essentially, despite the fact this base is kind of halfway done, when you think about the bases that are left on the map, Oya has 2 bases that are not mined. So, 3 bases, I guess, if you count this mineral only. Pre, where he took both the islands, he is just going to have sucked up so many more resources throughout the course of the game. Now, this is going to be a big storm drop. Here we go, the Zealot eating the cannon shots. Looks like a nice storm drop on top of that. Can he get another couple of storms on the other probes? Yes, he can, but nice split by Pre is going to kind of deny any more damage. Pre just has more bases that he can take safely that haven't been taken yet. Wait, how on earth did an Archon get up there? What on earth? There's not been, I don't think there's been any Hive ZVZs in STPL, but I have seen a Hive ZVZ in one of the tournaments I casted, which was the Clash for Char. It was Tai 2 versus True Touch. That was back in 2017. I want to see Hive ZVZ now. There was a drop going down. Oh my god, oh you're losing more probes. Stop it. Pre hates gas. That's it. He keeps storming the gases. That he just does not like Vespene geysers. It's like assimilators. Ugh. I hate assimilators. Gotta storm them. Okay, well, Oya, his supply is lower in army. His supply is 30 lower in workers as well. So he's 10 supply army down. I mean, as long as both of our players play really, really, what do you call the word? Efficient. Like, if Oya can play efficiently here, he's still got a chance. But he essentially needs to win the most efficient game ever. Because Pre, with all these additional minerals he sucked up from the islands, is in a fantastic spot right now. Now Pre is up 50 supply, 20 of that isn't workers, but he is going to try and push the issue and see if he can get a big win here over Oyaji's army. Storm going down on those back dragoons, really, really nicely done. Another Archon being morphed in the battlefield. And Oya, I mean, we've seen him take ridiculously good engagements before, but the storms are so good here from Pre. But look at the arc by Oya. Is he going to do it again? This man is the king of engagements in PvP. He makes engagements that you shouldn't win look easy. And Storm coming in from him. He's going to win the engagement again. This is ridiculous. He's not going to tie up the supply this time. But he did technically win the engagement. Pre pulled back. Now Pre is down to 136 supply again. Oya down to 88. Oya, of course, is mining out of most of his bases now. Pre is mining out of this island, but does have 3 relatively fresh bases. 5 if you count the 2 mineral onlys at the top of the map. And Oya is running out of bank, and so is Pre. Both of their macro has been tested for so long here. And I mean, we are 35 minutes into the game. Imagine what it's like playing this game. This game must be so mentally exhausting. Both players have been pulled apart over and over again. Looks like Pre may be going for the checkmate move now, dropping those 2 DTs, killing a lot of Oya's final probes. And he's going to get the Nexus in the bottom right. And this Nexus, I mean, Oya can't afford to replace it. And I mean, when you think about it, all of this comes down to the fact that Oya didn't scout the island bases. If he'd have scouted the island bases ages ago when he should have done, maybe this would be a different game. I think Oya thought for the longest time he was so far ahead because his opponent was on 1 base, when he was actually on 3. Like, that can happen in PvP. It happened with Shuttle versus Best on Transistor in ASL 6, I think it was. And it's happening here. Like, if you don't scout hidden bases, they can win you games in PvP. Now, Oya is down nearly 100 supply. He's going to go in with his final army here, and I think this could be the last hurrah of Oyaji. As Pre, even though his engagements haven't been that crisp, now it is just a pure numbers game. But Oya trades so effectively in these engagements. It is 3-2 against 3-3, which helps Pre as well. But I mean, for the engagement they just had, Oya's engagement there was a lot better than it deserved to be. Now DT gonna take out the Nexus again. There's no observer, nothing down there to detect. And it looks like this is checkmate. It's been an amazing PvP, a ridiculously amazing PvP. But I think this may just very well be it. There's absolutely nothing Oya can do anymore. Are we going to see a mind control? No, he doesn't have the energy to. GG, well played. Oya taps out on Pre after a very long PvP takes game number 2 in favor of DM, or game number 3 in favor of DM. Well, what a ridiculous PvP. Nearly 40 minutes of fantastic back and forth action, and it's going to put DM 2-1 up against iRk. What a position to be in. iRk obviously one of the strongest teams in the league. They're 4th position in Season 2 at the moment. Meanwhile, DM are in 12th, so if DM can win this next game, that is going to be a big upset. And let's find out if they can win when we get back after this short break. See you guys very soon.
Outstanding. Rock and roll.
Okay, we have a ton of Matrino codes still to use, so I'm making this quick video to show you how easy it is to actually use them. So you click the Matrino link, it brings up the Matrino page. In the top right, you hit sign in. You sign in with whatever you want to. In this case, I'm going to sign in with Twitch. That'll take you back to the page, and then if you hit contribute, you put in the coupon code LSTPL. You can put a comment if you want to, and you can hit contribute right there, and it'll add it to the prize pool. Easy as pie. STPL does. Bio TVP. Wow! You got it. STPL does. Mass Scouts? No problem. Broadcast 3 nights a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 2100 CEST. Fantastic casting, fantastic production, fantastic prizes. Only here on the STPL. Did you know Reavers could be this radical? How did these lings even get here? All I know is that's one dead base. STPL does. Wraiths, Valkyries, Carriers, and Corsairs. Forget about it. You won't see that anywhere else. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. STPL does. DT's doing game-ending damage. Name a more iconic duo. We've even got carriers in PvZ. How amazing! A global team league on the scale you've never seen before. Don't see this in BWCL, STPL does. All that and more, only on this amazing 64-bit STPL. What BWCL don't. Impressed? Okay guys, welcome back. We're here for game number 4 between DM and iRk. DM are up 2-1 in this series, and it's going to be up to the next player when we get onto our next map here, which is of course going to be the wonderful Neo Outlier. Neo Outlier, lots of fun. ZVP, a little bit more in favor of our Protoss players here. We've had some really fun games here now. The important thing to note is DM are up against the wall of iRk here, as their strongest player is going to be the one heading out. We're going to have DeWalt. DeWalt is obviously one of the strongest players in iRk. He's also one of the strongest players in the foreign scene. He's 10 wins, 2 losses against Zerg. He's ranked 3 overall in the STPL rankings, and in his last 10 games, he's won 9 of them. That's ridiculous. DeWalt is a crazy good player, and his opponent going to be standing up against the mighty Russian is going to be the Peruvian player Yop. Now Yop hasn't done as well for DM as some of his teammates, but he did win a couple of his games. He's been up against some strong opponents, and I think we could be headed to an ace match. I don't want to call things too early. Obviously Yop, in a best of 1, anything can happen, and he can still win this game. But to face DeWalt and win is going to take an incredible amount of work. Now let's see if he can do it here as we get into game number 4. It's DeWalt versus Yop on Neo Outlier. Okay, starting us off in the top middle of our screen here, it's going to be in the wonderful magenta. It's Yop. And his opponent spawning down here in the pink, fighting for iRk from Russia. It's DeWalt. And the one thing that's funny about the way STPL has worked is Bonneth, compared to DeWalt, does not do nearly as well in STPL as he does in other tournaments. And I think part of it's best of 1. DeWalt is an amazing player in best of 1. He comes prepared with builds and he executes them perfectly. And he always comes out and he just looks like a monster. It doesn't matter who is playing and how good his opponent is. He somehow just makes himself look like 10 times better than anyone else. Like, I've seen him play against players that are so much better than him, like some of the Korean amateurs. And I guess they're not super, well, they're not like way better than him, but like, when you compare to what it was like watching him play against Kanata, they played a best of 7 when he was in Korea. Like, it's just night and day how much better DeWalt is nowadays. And just how strong he actually is as well. Oh my god, nice glitching out on that drone, forcing the drone away, nearly killing it. Yop is going to be forced to take his 3rd base quite quickly here. DeWalt not going to push the... I nearly said the same thing again. He's not going to push it. He's just going to essentially let him get the hatchery. He's like, okay, you get the hatchery. Doesn't really matter too much. There's only a limited amount of time you can do it. Now, Yop did go for a pull, but he didn't opt to build more than 2 lings. Now, this is a pretty good decision by him. One of the biggest decisions that I see people make, which is wrong, And I get where it comes from, right? I understand that when you're against a player that's way better than you want to cheese because it's like, you feel like if I cheese, I've got more a chance of winning. But what people forget is if you don't cheese all the time, when you're cheesing, not only is your cheese going to be bad, but these top players, they play against a lot of cheese all the time for the same reason you're cheesing. So it's like doing something you're not good at against a brick wall, because essentially you're never ever going to be able to cheese out a better player unless you have specifically practiced this cheese over and over and over again. Obviously, this is an example of me saying, like, if you prepare for your game, it can go better. But essentially, like, if you're, say for example, you get matched with like a 2.4k player on ladder and you're like 1700 or something, right? There's no point you cheesing because you're definitely not going to win. If you play straight up, they may be better than you, but you could still win. Like, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a really hard fought game. But as long as you don't give up, as long as you don't throw the game, anything's possible. It's a best of one situation on ladder, and it's a best of one situation here. Yop going into 2 hatchery lair, very possibly going to go into a muteless build here. Like, going for anything else would be a bit strange. There's no Hydra Den, so it's most likely not going to be lurkers. But Yop is doing this off of the back, a very low drone count, and he's also showing this to DeWalt as well. So DeWalt is going to have the ability to prepare. DeWalt going for the pylon in his main, obviously going to be going for, I was going to say a core, but the core's already done. So it's going to be likely a Stargate. Could opt to go for Citadel first, but I think that'd be a little bit risky given what he scouted. Nil. Lair is almost done. Still no Hydra Den. There is a lot more drones coming in, but here is the first Zealot by DeWalt, and this could be the king of the jungle here. Well, I guess king of the Twilight, because he's already got 2 kills. One of them with drone, one a link. He's going to get another drone kill. Really showing off his micro here. This is really difficult to do, and he's even going to be able to run into the main as well, just to confirm what's going on. DeWalt really showing his power in this game so far, but Yop not wielding just yet. Still continuing on with his build order. He's gone for a 3rd base in the bottom right hand corner. Another drone going down though. And DeWalt is definitely doing a fantastic job now. Yop not going to glitch any drones through or anything, but 3rd base, quite a bold move here in this situation. One of his overlords did get taken down. We saw DeWalt actually opt to go for a Dragoon there rather than just continuing on with those Zealots. Now DeWalt's going to be able to defend his natural here, which is super important. And GG. Yop gives up. Fair enough. A little bit anticlimactic, but that is going to take us to the ace match. I guess Yop was like, well, I've lost too much. You've kind of thrown me off. Maybe he forgot to... You know what I reckon it is? I reckon he forgot to build a Spire. Because he did go for Lair super quickly, they did nothing with it. So I can only assume he thought he was building a Spire there, and he didn't have it, so he couldn't use it. But that is going to take us to the ace match. What I'll do is I'll take a quick break, not a long one. But if you guys in chat want to make a guess at who you think the ace match is going to be between, and I obviously will jump straight into the game afterwards and you'll find out if you're right. See you guys very soon. Okay, we have a ton of Matcherino codes still to use, so I'm making this quick video to show you how easy it is to actually use them. So you click the Matcherino link, it brings up the Matcherino page. In the top right, you hit sign in. You sign in with whatever you want to. In this case, I'm going to sign in with Twitch. It'll take you back to the page, and then if you hit contribute, you put in the coupon code LSTPL. You can put a comment if you want to, and you can hit contribute right there, and it'll add it to the prize pool. Easy as pie. Okay, it's time for a quick tip. Here we have Neo Outlier. I'm going to show you how to get over these temples with a probe. I'll also do it with an SCV and a drone as well. So what you do is you essentially send the probe up to mine, you press stop, and you go to build a pylon. Now you build the pylon underneath you, so essentially it's going to push you, then you spam right click, and all of a sudden you are through. And here is the same trick with Terran. There's a couple of ways you can do this. One of them is you build a depot, and you essentially cancel building, and you just spam yourself through. You have to be kind of stuck or either on the building in the temple or there. But you can cancel that, and just to show, you can do it both ways as well. Okay, now there's a way you can do this with just 2 workers, which is the only way Zerg are able to do this. You can also do this with Protoss and Terran as well. So essentially, you get both workers lined up here. You mine with 1 worker, you send the second worker to mine just behind it, and you hit stop. It can be a little bit finicky, so don't worry if you don't get it first try. We got it. No we didn't. Yes we did. Okay, so that didn't go perfectly. You can do it a lot better than that, but it does take a little bit of practice. So just keep trying and you will eventually get it. And you'll find it actually has quite a lot of uses in various different maps. Okay guys, we are back introducing our 2 players here, starting us off in the top left hand position in the red, fighting for DM. It's Kyrie. And his opponent spawning down here in the 7 o'clock position in the blue, fighting for iRk. It's DeWalt. Now, obviously, Kyrie is a strong player for DM. It looks like his MMR is around 2250 on ladder, normally. But DeWalt is the second... Okay, so... DeWalt is without a doubt the second best foreign Protoss player. But in the STPL, he's the #1 foreign Protoss player by a country mile as well. And, I mean, DeWalt's just such a strong Protoss player. This is going to be such a hard PvT here for Kyrie. But if Kyrie can win this, this is going to be a massive upset, not only for Kyrie, but also for DM. And DM need a win. Like, the top 8 teams get out of the group at the end of the group stages. We're in week 9 of week 4. Or, there's 14 weeks overall. We're in week 9. So there's 4 more play weeks after this one. The next week has already been played because I'm a little bit further behind, but essentially this is an important match for them. The way the table's looking, iRk are quite comfortably in 4th. They will drop to 5th if they lose here, but they will move up to 3rd. No, they won't. They'll essentially, if they win here, they'll stay they'll stay 3rd or 4th even. But if they lose here, then they're going to be dropping to 5th, I believe. So, kind of crazy. Very, very weird to think that iRk could lose to DM. DM are a very strong team, but iRk are one of the strongest in the entire league. Now, a PvT, one of my favorite matchups, we've got Gate Core, or Gate Gas Core, very, very standard build from DeWalt. And my cough is getting worse. This is not good, because if I start coughing again, I'm pretty fucked. Pardon my language. But I'm hoping it's nothing too serious. I've just spent the last 3 weeks ill, which is why there's been like a severe lack of STPL. But it could be possible that I've got another cold, which would not be good. Now Kyrie has pushed away the probe. He is going to try to go for an expansion here. It is going to be a factory expand. With a factory expand, you'd normally expand to the high ground, But it looks like he's going to be putting down a bunker here very shortly. That SUV is going to be on the way to do that. Now, is he going to go for a mine expand, or is he going to go for a tank? Now, tank is pretty powerful, but it does mean you can't be too aggressive. Like, you do obviously have the option of pushing, but when you're going for an expansion like this, you normally wouldn't. Siege obviously is a little bit less mobile, whereas if you go for mines, you can take a third base very quickly, just off of 2 bases with 1 factory. So we'll have to see if that comes into things. Is Kyrie going to go for a quicker armory? Is he going to go for a quicker starport? That's all to be decided, whereas DeWalt, I reckon we should see him go for Robo into support bay. I definitely think we're going to see Reaver from DeWalt here. When you feel more confident against a player as Protoss, I definitely feel like Reaver is just your best choice, because DT could be a coin flip. Like, if your opponent builds a turret at their front, like, you're just gonna lose, right? Well, you're not necessarily gonna lose, but your DT won't do anything, and you're more likely to lose the game. Whereas Reaver, as long as you keep the shot alive, which if you're good enough is very easy, it's definitely a safer, more secure bet, I would say. Now, expansion is coming up from DeWalt. That was around 26 supply, I think that started, maybe 28. He is going into a Robo. Now, of course, this could just be for Observatory. He knows the opponent has an option of going for a mine expand, but it is going to be double tank, so no vultures. And no siege mode either, unless it just finished. This is definitely a weird build by Kyrie so far. Now, DeWalt going to hold this high ground, maybe a little bit worried about vultures coming in, and maybe worried about mines as well. We do have an observatory done now. There's no support base, so maybe DeWalt is just going to play this a little bit more straight up. I was kind of expecting him to go into support bay and then go into carriers. But it looks like we're more than likely going to see Arbiter play from him here. Now, Arbiter play, obviously very strong against Terran. So is carrier play. Carriers, I think, would be a little bit stronger in this position. Just because you do have free reign over Kyrie's natural and his likely third base. From the safety of your own main, but I guess we'll see, because without a Citadel, yeah, it is going to be a Citadel, so it is going to be 2 base, probably 3 base Arbiter. I reckon he's probably going to go into the Templar Archives, then expand. Expanding too quickly against Terran can be a little bit difficult, so he's going to go in and check with his Observer, see if there's anything he really needs to worry about. He's not seen the factory count, so that's going to be super important. We, as the all-seeing observers, know that Kyrie is only on 2 factories right now. He's got his armory spinning, but there's no third base. There's no big timing push coming because there just isn't the factory count to pull it off. And he's going to go into a starport behind this. So, builds, I would say, definitely favoring DeWalt right now. And you can already see DeWalt's got a probe getting ready to take that third base. No one knows what's going on. Okay, so it looks like DeWalt's looking to be a little bit more aggressive. He sees no siege mode on these tanks and maybe thinks he can break in. I mean, this isn't that many Dragoons, but if he can kill the barracks, if he can stop any additional factories being made, he is going to be in such a ridiculously strong position. Third base is coming up. DeWalt definitely in a good spot right now. Templar Archives is done. Forge and Stargate on the way. Likely going to see +1 attack coming in immediately on this. Could also use it to build a cannon over here. But oh, nice scan by Kyrie just as it's about to finish up. And there's +1 attack. So Arbiter Tribunal should be coming up here shortly for DeWalt. So far, there's been a pretty good game. Science Facility on the way. So one thing Kyrie's doing well this game is keeping on top of his upgrades. Interestingly, still no third base and still only 3 factories. So the third base from Kyrie is going to be incredibly late. And he is going to be expanding away from his opponent, which is a good move. Especially because he can't push down. But it's also a little bit dangerous as well, because this is so far away by ground from your main. How are you going to realistically defend this against recall? I suppose you have the same problem in this base because it's so close to the Protoss main, but at least you've got like a better rotation of units there. So it looks like he is going to try and take a kind of sneaky expansion, but unlike OE, you can see DeWalt is getting ready for this already. He's going to send his observer up there to check for it. And yeah, it's good to see you here, Shad. If you guys don't know who Shad is, he's a very old school player, and much like Avilov, he's also very old school. But essentially, Shad is saying in chat, "It's good to see Abby again." And Abby said, "Most people don't know that I play since I play only on Smurfs." Well, Abby, I think I've got a nickname for you in the STPL. I hope you like it, but it's Papa Smurf. Are you happy with that? Because you definitely Smurf, I think, more than anyone else I know in the Brood War scene. I think Papa Smurf is a good name for you. Dropship coming into the main. This is the sort of move that Kyrie needs. Speed is done, mines are done, and there's not actually any units back here to defend this. So let's see how many probes go down. 2 so far. 3? Oh, he's going to pick up most of the vultures and get away. Okay, so about 5 probes I think went down there. Not too much damage for the ult to be taking. Abby saying he's more a Gargamel character. I suppose that makes sense. No, you can't be the Gargamel character because Gargamel hates the Smurfs. Whereas you love them because you are the Smurfs. How can you hate them? It's you. Abby saying maybe he hates himself. I'm really, really sorry for that, Abby. You shouldn't hate yourself, man. You're an okay person, man. You shouldn't feel bad. Maybe you would hate yourself less if you didn't just beat up like 1400, 1500 players. Like poor old Kicks over and over again. But nice drops, nice use of the Arbiter though. This drop at the third base has definitely done the most damage because, I mean, DeWalt is trying to push up on the high ground to kill this pylon, and he's on the low ground so he keeps missing. That's kind of funny. But he is finally going to be able to break in. Kairu's going to get his vultures away, and he's going to be able to come back another day. Now, looks like this third base unfortunately was cancelled up here by a single Dragoon that's now on 5 kills. So that's a little bit unfortunate. Kyrie's base is definitely a little bit further behind than where he wants to be. Honestly, that feels like a waste of a mine, and that's now just actually blocked him from taking the expansion. So that was a weird use of a mine there, but okay, we take those. DeWalt with his 4th base up here in the bottom right hand corner, going towards a 5th in the other main as well. Now DeWalt doing a really good job mine clearing. I mean, one of the big benefits of playing Terran, and when you're trying to play aggressive like this, is you're supposed to have a ton of mine coverage, and that's just something that Kyrie doesn't have. Now, Kyrie's army is very big. He's just hit that 2-1 timing, and he's starting to push across the map. Now, if he can get in a position on this high ground above DeWalt's main, this could be a dangerous spot for DeWalt to try and break through. Now, DeWalt's army is kind of split up a little bit. There is an Arbiter on both sides, which is going to make this a little bit harder. Well, let's have a look. Let's zoom out a little bit so we can see the full engagement. There's a lot of units coming in from the bottom through a choke point, but a nice stasis field going down on those front tanks. And a lot of, I nearly said LZ Gamers units, but a lot of Kyrie's units at the back are going to hold. And it looks like he's going to be able to take out this army of DeWalt. It's going to be very, very close, but 4 tanks, very, very strong. There is a turret here as well to help this. And Kyrie gets the better end of that engagement. He does lose a lot of tanks though, but he's going to be able to secure his third base finally. And he's going to be able to take out a lot of the Arbiters as well as force a usage of a stasis, which essentially means he's not going to get recalled anytime soon. Now, the Vultures are going to come into the main. Let's see if they can do any damage. There's a lot of cannons coming up over here now. They're going to be able to take out this cannon in the mineral line, which is going to be a good pick-off. That is quite a lot of minerals to lose. Now, rather than fight this, he is going to pick up again, and he's going to continue pushing. Now, the third base, as I said before, taking this base is so difficult. It's so far away. Like, all these SCVs are going to get trapped. Now, we do have Kyrie taking this high ground position now, and if he gets a contain going, this is going to be so hard to break. Now the vessel's trying to get out there with the EMP. Can they EMP this before it can get the stasis off? Why is he not EMPing? Oh, a little bit unfortunate. Stasis on the ramp, and he killed the Chrysalis so he can break up finally. And Kyrie is in a very good spot, at least positionally. Now the command center is stuck over there, but he is still doing a pretty good job. A lot of units going down from DeWalt. Now DeWalt does have the 5 bases now, but he doesn't have a way to rotate his units around. So if Kyrie continues to push forward, if he gets the gateways, this could very well be game. But he has to push the issue now. He has to go in. He cannot wait. The more units DeWalt gets, the more Arbiters he gets, the more likely it is he'll be able to do a counter recall. Now Kyrie still needs a third base. He doesn't have a third. He's got the command center. It's absolutely miles away from anything important. Nowhere near any bases. And the thing is, if Kyrie can take this location, he blocks both of these gases. That's one of the things about this map that people may not know, but it's kind of cool. Now, a lot of units coming in from the back from DeWalt going to go down. A shuttle going down as well. DeWalt is not handling Kyrie's army very well. Now, there is a... so close to an EMP. Oh, stasis down. There's no turret here. So, oh, there is another vessel. Okay. We in here. Now, a lot of the Zealots are going down before they can engage the tanks. And Kyrie is doing very well right here. A lot of his units got stuck on this engineering bay. And is Kyrie going to take this game? Is he going to upset DeWalt? This is such... such a strong position for Kyrie to be in. He's on 3-1. Oh, sorry, 2-1 attack. He's still got a ton of mines. There's no... Oh, okay. I thought that was going to be for a recall. I was like, oh my goodness. This is where the tables turn. But he's pushing too slowly. DeWalt's getting gateways up in the bottom right-hand corner now. And that's something he can't afford. Now, there's still no third base. EMP not ready, so he can't get any EMP on the Arbiters. Now, is he going to be able to get a turret up here? Turret would be very useful. Building another engineering bay to help wall this off. Now, there is a single tank in this third base. It's got 6 kills. It's not going to be able to take out both these units, but looks like DeWalt is trying to push forward with a couple of Zealot drops, but unable to break through. Where is the turret? He needs a turret down here. Now, we've got Dragoons coming out from the other base now. It looks like DeWalt is still trying to find other bases. Finally, it looks like Kyrie is going to be able to expand to a base he can hold. Because he is mined out, he's almost gone from his main. The benefit of this map for Kyrie is there's 2,000 minerals at the natural, so he has got a lot left. He's killed a lot of probes. There's another stasis field, and still no turret. Wait, it's because he's got no engineering bay. He keeps having to rebuild this for some reason. Now, that was good. Nice mine for Kyrie, and he's getting at one of the Arbiters as well. Now, where are the other Arbiters? Does he even have any? I don't think DeWalt has any other Arbiters. Oh, yes, he does. Here we go. He's got one more. But it's getting shot at by Goliath. Oh my god, he's getting at the Arbiter before a stasis. A stasis on a single tank. That is not a position DeWalt wants to be in. He's still got a supply lead, though. And Kyrie is still trying to push. And we do have units now down into the bottom right. He's going to be able to snipe some of these High Templar. Nice pick-off. But the trouble is, he's now going to scout the gateways, which is the important thing. DeWalt Needed those to go unscouted, but tanks still on the high ground, going to make this very difficult to break through. Not many vultures down here though. So finally, the Arbiter's broken through. The Zealots are getting on top of the high ground, and he really needs to unsiege these tanks. Kyrie down 72 supply. Unfortunately, he's unable to break through. He needs to lift this. Just lift it. No! Okay, a High Templar on the high ground. There's still no vultures down here, so the Zealot's going to clean this up most likely. And with this push being cleaned up, I think DeWalt may have just taken this game, because Kyrie has nothing left. He's trying to secure a third base, but with no army, with nothing left to defend, how does he hold on against the onslaught of DeWalt now? DeWalt's up to 5 bases. His main is almost mined out. His natural is very, very healthy. I mean, there's some mines here, but they're... Oh! That was a big old mine. Oh my god, those mines. Oh no! Ooh. Wow, DeWalt did not want to lose that much to mines. But DeWalt is still in an incredible position. It is getting incredibly cold, but double shuttle Zealot dropping on the third base. Kyrie's mined out this main fully now. His natural's almost gone. He's got a big gas bank, but no minerals to spend it. Could this be the end of the line here for Kyrie? He's going to send in a ton of vultures to the bottom middle. Going to try and get some more probes if he can, but he needs these units back at home. Did he use all of his mines? It looks like he did, which is good. But the cannon's going to clean this up, no problem. DeWalt's still up 20 workers. And DeWalt just showing why he's so strong. Like, a lot of other Protoss players would have folded in that situation. He is set, like... Kyrie essentially had DeWalt dead to rights. He was in such an amazing position, and DeWalt held on so unbelievably well that he managed to take the game. Like, Kyrie's still down. Well, he's down, but he's not out just yet. He is down nearly 100 supply though, so I kind of feel like as long as DeWalt just groups his army and attacks, he's going to win. But we are going to have a recall coming in at the third base. Let's see it all coming in right there. Kaboom! Boom goes the dynamite as that recall comes in, and he gets another Arbiter, and that's going to go up to the natural. And this is going to be game, surely, as Kyrie just does not have anything to deal with this whatsoever. Are we going to see a recall on the natural? Just to add insult to injury. He's killed the third base. Mine's going off here. The Arbiter just still sat over nothing. I want him to recall so bad just so I can watch it again. And here we go. Looks like we are going to have another recall coming in. A big amount of units up here. He's going to go into the main, it looks like. And there we go. Right on top of the production. And this is checkmate from DeWalt. Kyrie played a valiant game, but DeWalt winning in the end with some fantastic play. He was very tenacious to be able to defend against that. He got the bases he needed at the right time, got the gateways in the other main, and overall has won a fantastically played PvT here. Kyrie going to try and push forward with the final units he has. He's giving up his main base to see if he can trade away on the bases in the top right. And maybe he has a chance, but he's going to lose all of his mining bases here. A lot of mines out the front going to help a little bit. But once again, the problem is, without any mining bases, how do you deal with what DeWalt has? He's mining off of 5 bases now. It's just not enough. 2 shuttles coming in here, going to drop on top of the tanks as well. One of them goes down, which is a benefit. But there we go. GG. Kyrie taps out, and DeWalt takes game number 5 in the ace match. So that was a pretty crazy and very, very sick PvT from both players there. Kyrie, against all odds, was doing so well against DeWalt. Obviously, DeWalt, top 2 Protoss, or top 2 foreign Protoss. He is the top foreign Protoss in the STPL. And genuinely, that was an amazingly well played game by him. Kyrie just couldn't expand. He couldn't get his third base. And when his push didn't work, that was pretty much the end of the game. He tried to hold on, he tried to do some damage elsewhere, but that's definitely going to be an important win here for our Swedish heroes. So let's actually have a look at the results, and then I've got a couple more things to mention before we go out. Marwin winning game number 1, Kyrie winning game number 2, Pre winning game number 3, DeWalt winning the double whammy at the end, winning game number 4 and game number 5 to give iRk the victory in the series. So one thing I want to say is I was planning on doing an STPL cast tomorrow, but given the fact I've started coughing again, I'm going to give it a little bit of a break until Monday because I'm out Friday anyway, and BWCL is on tomorrow. So the games from tomorrow will be casted on Monday, and on Sunday we're going to be having the STPL Christmas Cup number 2. It's going to be a Winners League show match between NetWars and Ash, starting with Mr. Zero and Dreamer in the first match. It's all going to be Ice World maps, so just to quickly run through the maps for you. As a matter of fact, I can show I don't need to show that trailer. I was supposed to put that in the thing, but essentially, if you want any details about the thing even, there's the thread on Team Liquid. If you're excited for it, make a post. Just show you're excited for it. But the map pool, starting off on set number 1, is going to be, or the start line of this series is going to be on Avalon. We're then going to move on to Battle Royale, which should be a funny game. We're going to head into Whiteout. Going to head into Gorky Island, which should be amazing. Going to head into Hitchhiker, El Nino, and then finish off, if we get to the ace match, on Talcross. It is Winners League King of the Hill, so whoever wins does stay on. Ash and NetWars have such a diverse roster now. I thought these would definitely be the best 2 teams to play. But let me find someone to host as well. I'll bring up the standings as well for you, Fuji, because I'm just reloading the overlay. Essentially, I need to post the ones from yesterday because that was the end of week 8. This is week 9. But I'll show you them anyway, just because I know that it's important for you as a captain. Let's have a look at the team rankings. After that game, iRk stay in 4th and DM fall to 13th place. But there are the current rankings at the beginning of week 9. And just to have a quick look as well at the player table, I just want to see after those 2 wins if DeWalt's managed to take 2nd place. No, he hasn't. So DeWalt is still not quite there just yet. He's close, but no cigar. He can't catch up with Scan and Noob still. He's very, very close though. I mean, DeWalt is such a strong player regardless, so whatever rank he is, I mean, he's the top ranked foreigner in the entire of the STPL, so a non-Korean, I guess I should say. So once again, thank you very, very much for watching me cast. It's been a lot of fun. I've been coughing a little bit, so I do apologize. I got a little bit distracted earlier, but it's been a lot. I've just said that. It's been amazing. So thank you so much. If you want to support the STPL, support us by following us on Twitter, subscribing to us on YouTube. Yeah, Noob is Ajuk12, one of the old pro gamers from, I think, Fox. So follow us on Twitter, sub on YouTube, use the STPL Maturino code LSTPL by going on this link, and also on this on the links there you can support us on Patreon, which is the best way to support further STPL content. I have got a goal to essentially make, let me double check, it's $1,200 per month. If I can make that amount, I can cut a day off of my normal job and take this a lot more seriously, spend a lot more time casting for you guys and making more cool, ridiculous videos. So if you want to help make that dream a reality, sub on Patreon. You can get access to all the replays by just donating $5. If you want to go over, you can get a cool little highlight intro, which you'll see in a second for the other teams, or the other patrons even. And I'll see you guys next time. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are. And I'll see you guys on Sunday for the STPL Christmas Cup number 2. Sorry, and just before I go, of course, a massive thank you to our sponsor Liquipedia. If you want to help Liquipedia, anyone can edit. It's such a good resource. You do not want that to go anywhere. So if you want to help out with the STPL Liquipedia page as well, hit me up on Discord. You can get to the Discord through this link, and I will add you to the Liquipedia Discord channel on there. But that'd be a massive help. I'm going to raid Jesse now. Have a good evening.